Welcome to Southern Orthopedic PrepZone Game Time, driven by Carl Cannon.
Hey everybody, James Phillips here with Jonathan Bentley and Brian Hale. It is PrepZone Game Time. Guys, this week, our game of the week, a couple local teams. We've got Curry and Winston County. Two teams that they're not setting the world on fire, but this should be a good ball game between the two of them.
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup. Good test for Winston County.
Right.
Heading down the home stretch.
Well, a lot of history between these two teams. They just don't play very often nowadays. I think last time they played was 1995. But overall record, Winston County actually leads it 25, 24, and 2. So Curry could tie the series with a win.
Yeah, and you would actually expect that. They're not that far apart. And you would expect that this would be an opponent they would see a lot more often, but it's been 15 years, so
right,
a little crazy.
Well, and I think it's probably because for a lot of years, Curry was up hovering around 5-6A level, and now they've gone back down to their 4A. Winston County's up to 2A. So, it's not too big of a discrepancy now, where for several years it was.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, both teams we talked about have struggled in really recent years. Winston County's got off to a 2-2 start. Curry's 0 for so far on the year. What do you think after going out and talking to both teams this week?
They really want this win.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Curry, we said it before the season started, what would a win do for this team? And they're still kind of in that position. I just want to see what would happen if they win. Does this actually start something going?
Right.
And Winston County is not a bad – I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They have one exceptional player. They kind of struggled against Addison last week, but who wouldn't?
Right.
And they could really use this going in the home stretch too. They have a forfeit coming up as well. Midfield is out this year.
Right.
Well, that'll help them.
You were able to go to Winston County and talk to a few of their players. Austin Owens is the guy that stands out, but then they've got some other guys that really step up in key situations.
Yes, they got like 4 senior leaders. He's one of them. The quarterback's one, the guy that was quarterback last year, and he's a running back now. But, I mean, this is a running team, run first.
Right.
But they have good leaders. They're going to be sound. Now, if they make mistakes against Curry, it could go the other way. But if they pound and Austin Owens has a great game, they should win. I mean, that's the way it goes for them.
Right. Yeah.
They go how Owens goes.
Yeah, if you stop him, you've got a really good chance of winning.
Yeah, like Addison did last week.
Right. Well, let's see what Winston County had to say about this week's game. I know they're fired up for Curry, looking for a win, so let's hear from their players now.
Curry may enter tonight's rivalry game on a lengthy losing streak, but that doesn't mean Winston County is taking them lightly. The teams play for the first time in 25 years tonight at Curry's Hudson-O'Rear Stadium.
They have a lot more players. They have bigger players, more athletes, just stuff like that.
They're a very good team. I think they're underrated, and we definitely cannot overlook them this week. We're going to have to be really physical and play our best game. They're a lot bigger than us, and they've got some good athletes.
Class 2A Winston County is off to a 2-2 start to the season. The Yellow Jackets dropped their last game 22-6 to county rival Addison. Winston County trailed 6-0 at the half before the Bulldogs put the game away with 2 touchdowns in the third quarter.
We just couldn't get nothing to go on offense for us. Couldn't get any big plays to break out, nothing like that.
Class 4A Curry played Winston County from 1945 to 1981 and then again from 1988 to 1995. Curry has won 7 in a row in the series.
Coach Baker at coaches there is alumni from here. He called up, and it just kind of worked out. We're close in proximity. You want to play somebody that you can get a gate and have a good football game in too. And so we thought it was very good for both schools to renew this rivalry and start playing back again.
The last time Winston County defeated a 4A school was in 2015, a 28-19 win over rival Haleyville.
Well, after last week's game against Addison, that had a big impact on practice this week because it was real upbeat because we really want to win. So just got to play really physical because they're bigger than us. They have a bunch of athletes. They're a good football team. So we just got to get out there and play as hard as we can.
Welcome in, everybody. James Phillips here. It's a late night at the Desert Mountain Eagle studio. Brian Hale, how's it going, man?
And comes out with a 1-point double overtime win, 35-34. The Vikings remain undefeated.
One of the assistants told me I think they're 5 points away from being 4-1.
Corner just completely turned road, and they came out in the second half. They scored 20 points on 5 plays.
Cordova makes the playoffs. Who would have thought in week 5 that we would have said
the Cordova Blue Devils are going to reel off 4 straight wins and clinch a playoff berth?
Well, I just think the first half was really Harmon Hill got after. I mean, they were playing with a little bit more effort and toughness,
just glad to catch it. Good, it was a good throw. Won the game.
Welcome back in. We heard from a couple of the Winston County players. One of their players who is Austin Owens is a standout almost every week, but not last week. He really was kind of shut down by Addison. But we did have one outstanding performance last week from another Oakman Wildcat. They seem to be getting the player of the week almost every week. Brian, tell us about who got it this week.
Well, it's Denzel Chapman. He caught 2 touchdown passes, was in on a key 2-point conversion. Also had about 9 catches for 88 yards, and went out and spoke to him. You know, it's kind of, when you do this as long as we all have, you watch kids grow up. You know, I kind of joked with him before we taped this. I used to watch him at Parrish when his big brother Trayvon was running around on the basketball court, and now he's like 5 inches taller than his brother and is out there making superstar catches. But it was fun to catch up with him and give him big congratulations for such a stellar win.
Okay, well, let's see your interview with Chapman now.
With 24 seconds left and remaining in regulation, he got a 4-yard touchdown pass from his quarterback, Baylor Odom, and then connected again on a 2-point conversion to tie their game with J.B. Pennington at 21-21. After J.B. Pennington went up with a 24-21 field goal in overtime, he and his quarterback hooked up again on an 8-yard touchdown strike to seal the 27-24 victory. And along with those 2 touchdowns and the 2-point conversion catch, he also caught 9 total passes for 88 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, your JLX, WJLX, and DME Player of the Week, Denzel Chapman. Denzel, congratulations on the sensational victory. I know it had to be so wonderful. You guys have been battling on the edge this year to be able to get such a great victory. What's your thoughts?
It's just, we got to put in the work. We've been slacking a little bit lately, but we're going to pick it up.
With the wars that you guys have been against Gordo and of course at Winfield, do you kind of think that gave you a little bit of an edge when it came to close contact like this?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, sir.
This is an off week coming up here, and of course you guys are right back to work in just as much of a key region game against J.B. Pennington. What are you guys looking for out of yourselves this week?
Just to improve as much as we can before the next region game.
Well, Denzel, congratulations once again. Hope you guys have a very productive week off, and once again are successful next Friday night. So we'll be back.
Southern Orthopedic PrepZone Game Time, driven by Carl Cannon. Presented by Kilgore Green Funeral Home, Nelson, Bryan and Cross, Bank of Walker County, Jasper Main Street, Southern Orthopedic, and Carl Cannon.
All right, we're back. You just heard from Denzel Chapman, our player of the week for this week. Brian, now we're going to go shift from talking about Winston County. We're going to talk about the Curry Yellow Jackets. It's second year under Coach Foshee. They've really struggled numbers-wise. They've struggled to just kind of get something going. Jonathan mentioned earlier, if maybe they can just get a win, that points them in a positive direction.
Well, I think one of the things that they need is they need to find an emotional leader.
Right.
They've got to find somebody to step up and say, you know, guys, this is our team. We've got to move that forward. I think that's what Curry really lacks more than anything. Last year it was Ethan Weidman.
Right.
Okay, but nobody has stepped up thus far to really kind of either give that big example off the field or on it, one of the two. We just haven't seen it. I think that's what really hurts them.
Right. Well, when I talked to Coach Foshee earlier in the week and we're planning these segments, I told him, I said, I know it's tough if you're winless, to talk about it and keep going and going and going, but who are some kids who have not given up and they continue to fight, and they kind of are leading out on the field and practice and that sort of thing. And he said, yeah, I got a couple of those guys. And you went and talked to a couple of the Curry players who seem to be the leaders of the team.
Yes, and talking to them, you would never know they were winless, you know? I mean, these guys, they really just need something positive.
Right.
And you can say their last game was their best game. They had an off week last week. They kind of came back against Fayette County and showed some life.
Right.
You know, maybe for the first time this year. And if they could parlay that, they had a good week of practice. They had the off week, like I said. You know, they went and watched Winston County, actually.
Right.
But these guys they're fired up. They think this is a chance, a really good chance. And they really need this win. I mean, more so than anybody else we've had this week.
Right, right. Well, and that's why we wanted to see this matchup, because we even though it's two teams who are struggling, it's still two teams in our area, and it's a chance to highlight some of those kids and to see who can pull out a win in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can see it's kind of dragging on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can tell the whole thing. They just need to. I can't imagine the week after win how pumped up they'd be.
Right. Yeah.
Change everything.
Let's go and hear your interview with the Curry players now.
Curry has shown improvement during the 2020 season. The Yellow Jackets are coming off their best showing of the season 2 weeks ago, putting a scare into Fayette County in a 36-22 loss. Now, following an off week, the Yellow Jackets hope that positive momentum carries over to tonight's game against Winston County.
I was pretty proud of our team, but we still didn't win, you know. But the momentum we built up in that game should lead on to this game.
Against Fayette County, Curry trailed 22-0 before rallying in the second half. The Jackets cut the gap to 14 points with nearly 7 minutes left, but were unable to get the ball in the end zone the rest of the way.
It seems like that's every week that we pick up momentum in the second half, but I felt like last week we picked up a different vibe from that momentum that we're certainly getting a little bit better, and we got to build off of that.
The teams play for the first time since 1995 at Curry's Hudson-O'Rear Stadium. The rivalry is as close as it gets. Winston County leads the series 25-24-2, and the teams are separated by just 8 points.
I didn't know a whole lot about the rivalry. I'm not from around here, but Coach Baker played at Winston County, so he kind of filled me in a little bit about it. So, I think they'll bring a good crowd and that kind of thing. Being right up the road, we don't have to go very far.
Curry's toughest task comes in the form of Winston County running back Austin Owens. The senior leads the area with 592 yards and 7 touchdowns on 50 carries. In Winston County's 22-6 loss to Addison last week, Owens had the Yellow Jackets' lone score on a 75-yard punt return.
He runs the ball hard. He has passion for the game. I respect that.
He's a hard runner, has passion for the game. He doesn't give up easily.
Curry enters the game looking to snap a 19-game losing streak that dates back to the 2018 season.
A win would mean a lot, losing all the games last year and some this year. A win would help us build our momentum, get things going.
It would mean a lot to get our momentum going and be able for the rest of the season be able to play better in more games.
No matter what, Curry's is looking to get into the win column.
It don't matter 1 point or whatever. We just want to win. I really hadn't thought about that. I hope defensively we can tackle 21 and limit their touches, and hopefully offensively we can move the football and keep that clock moving and keep our offense on the sideline.
Hey, welcome back in. Now it's time for us to pick the games of the week. We don't have many games this week, guys. There's only 6 games total?
6 games.
Now, Jonathan, I got to ask you, what doesn't fit in here?
This
hello.
guy right here. I think his shirt
We're
was
actually
dirty.
dressed up, and for the first time, you're not.
Well, I mean, I'm dressed nice, though.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing
where's the uniform?
like a T-shirt or anything.
Where's your uniform?
Well, I've been wearing them every show, and y'all haven't been.
This is the first time I've worn it.
We finally got it.
And then I realized both of y'all had it on, and I thought, well, it look like those two guys.
It matches pretty well.
I mean,
I
there's
guess we
people out
shouldn't
there
follow
that
the
want to see
example.
me in front of the camera, but I don't know if y'all been getting any fan mail like I have.
Dude, you got to stop hitting your head before you come in here to tape.
Well, at least I'm in a better mood than I was Friday night. Saturday
drastically.
morning, right?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought the nuclear bombs were coming.
it was bad. It was bad for a little while.
It's a
but
bad football.
I made it through with the help of some beverages, and we made it through. So, it's a better day.
Alrighty then.
And this Friday's going to be a better night, right?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, let's start with, we got some road trips, a couple of them. Let's start with Sumpton Christian at Brindley Mountain. Anybody tell me, is that like a town from the Dukes of Hazzard?
Well, it's actually in Guntersville.
Oh, it's in Guntersville.
Mm-hmm.
Hour and a half. This is one of their closer games. actually.
Yeah, I mean, Sumpton Christian they've been road warriors so far.
Up to Cherokee, Cedar Bluff, Woodville last week, almost on the Tennessee
Who
state
even
line.
knows where that is?
Yeah, and now they're back. This one's actually semi-close.
Brindley Mountain, though, 0-5.
Yeah, they've had 3 forfeit losses, and in the 2 games that they've had, they've been outscored over 100 to 14. So they've scored a touchdown in each game and given up 100 points in those 2 games.
So you're going with Sumter Christian?
Yeah.
Sumter Christian's 1-3. They probably should be 3-1, actually.
Easily.
Lost a couple of really close ones. So you going Sumter Christian on this one?
This will be like that Cherokee game that won 49-0.
Yeah,
It should
I
be
think-
about like that.
I agree with you. Sumter Christian wins this one. How about here's two programs. Vina, 0-4. At Lynn, 1-4.
Vina.
Lynn struggling, man. Like we're used to Lynn being 4-1 at this time of year, at least 3-2, and they're 1-4. I think they get healthy this week though. Lynn's gonna pound Vina.
Yeah, I mean, Vina's always 0-4, aren't they?
Right. Yeah.
And when they aren't, it's a surprise. I mean, Lynn isn't bad. They're just in a bad region. Brilliant is good. Stuff like that has happened. So
Right.
they're in a tough spot, but they'll win this week.
They've got a shared opponent, guys, Marion County. Lynn beat Marion County 35-32. Vina lost to Marion County 35-0. Pretty easy to do this.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be an easy one. Okay, how about let's see. Let's go with Jasper, 1-3 on the year, traveling to Demopolis. It doesn't get any easier for Jasper. Demopolis 5-0, ranked number 9 in Class 5A, and this is a non-region game for a team that's really struggling right now. Any hope for the Vikings this week?
It's a 2-hour and 14-minute trip to go down there, and you've only scored 1 touchdown in the past 3 weeks. I don't think that it's going to be a long trip home, guys.
Haven't had a passing touchdown this year.
Yeah.
Let me just throw that out there.
In 4 games?
Yeah.
I mean, this is you can add anybody in
Right.
your non-region, and the Demopolis just happened to be a very bad year to pick them up, probably.
Well, and I really think, looking at Demopolis' schedule, they haven't played anybody in this 5-0 stretch. But there's nobody that's played a schedule like Jasper. If Jasper had their starting quarterback, I might would pick them in this game. But still struggling with a backup in, and just things have not gone as planned. I'd like, if anybody's out there is familiar with Demopolis, I'm going down there. So if you know a good restaurant to go to, comment on this post, because that's probably going to be my highlight of the night. And I'm afraid to say that, but so everybody, we're going Demopolis?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Demopolis. I hate to say it, but we are. How about Good Hope, number 9 in Class 4A?
Yep.
Traveling to Addison. Good Hope is undefeated. Addison, they're used to playing bigger schools with good records. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I think this is actually going to be relatively close. I don't think they're going to blow the doors off Addison. I mean, just let's put it in comparison. If they can stand up to Aliceville, still they're showing exactly what they're made of.
Right.
I think this is going to be a much better game than we saw against a much bigger Haleyville team at the beginning of the year. I think Addison's going to probably keep it within a couple of touchdowns. But I still am going to go Good Hope, and it's just because the depth chart is going to wear.
Right. I got to see Good Hope last year. They're the same region as Jasper, and they could throw the ball around. And that's one thing that usually Addison seems to be susceptible to is a passing game.
Yeah, they don't see it very often.
Right. So I'm going with Good Hope as well.
I'm with Good Hope. They're actually a really good team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of their better starts in probably a decade.
Yeah.
They're good every once in a while. When they are, they're really good.
All right. How about, we only got 2 more games.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is the County Line Clash. Dora 3-1 at Corner 1-3. Dora struggled last week, really gave that game away. 4 turnovers against Aniana. You would think the Bulldogs are wanting to bounce back and take a bite out of their rival Yellow Jackets.
All they have to do is clean up the turnovers. I think, honestly, last week, if they had 1 turnover versus 4, they walked away and they're undefeated right now.
Right.
They've just got to clean up the turnovers. If they can do that, I see them easily winning this game. If they can't, Corner's got opportunities. They have good players.
Yeah.
Corner has a good stock of players. They have just not, for some reason, not put it together this year, except for that one point win.
Jonathan, can Corner get their offense together and pull off an upset in this rivalry?
It would take another big turnover game, I think. I mean, Dora had that game tied with Aniana in the 4th quarter.
Right.
Just, kind of gave it away. But Corner, we thought they were going to be better than they are. They do have talent. If they put it together, I mean, they have a great quarterback. They have great positions on the field, but they just can't. They've really struggled this year.
Right.
that 1 point win that took, like a last play of the game over St. Clair County, and that's it so far.
Yeah. That was almost a miracle win right there at the end.
It was.
So, all right, all three of us go door on that one. All right, now, game of the week time, Battle of the Yellow Jackets, Curry and Winston County. We were able to catch up with both coaches and get their thoughts on the game. We had Coach Foshee and also Coach Mitchell. Let's hear what they've got to say, and then you'll find out what we think about the game.
Well, the first thing when I popped on the film is the size that they are. Look like a very good, hard-nosed football team. I think they got pretty good team speed. The two films I watched them on, they played two of the better 4A schools and played well against those two, Fayette County and Hamilton. I think they're a very, very well-coached football team. It's a couple classifications moving up to us, going to their place. First time I've ever been there or played them. I think it's going to be a very tough football game, and we want to take our best effort to go over and beat them.
I expect everything they got. I mean, they pretty good football team. They got probably one of the best running backs we've seen. Runs extremely hard, extremely fast kid. Plays great on defense as well. So, we expect their A game. And then that's what we're getting ready for.
We're going to save you because you were up there for both teams. You went and talked to everybody. Brian, you give us your thoughts first.
Well, guys, I don't want to take anything away from Winston County whatsoever, but to me, this game is about Curry. It's Curry that has not won a game since 2018. It's Curry that's at home. It's Curry that's the larger school. To me, Curry needs this much more than Winston County. You pull all that on top of each other, you pile it all up. Can Curry win this game? Can they? Yes. Will they win this game? I don't think so. I'm taking Winston County just by a little bit, simply because I just think they have it a whole lot more together.
And you're going to be at that game, broadcasting it live, too. All right, Jonathan?
Yeah, like you said, Curry needs it, and Winston County's kind of in a weird spot. I mean, you play a team that hadn't won in a while. I mean, you really need to win that game. They're kind of similar spots, but I think it comes down to Owens. Mm-hmm. Winston County has them. And if he gets loose a couple times, that could be the difference in the game.
Yeah.
Curry is going to need to win a low-scoring game.
Right.
And I don't know if they can contain Owens enough.
Right.
I mean, even against Addison, he broke a kickoff return for it. He had the only touchdown of the game.
Yeah.
But he'll just get in the open and be gone.
It seems like that kid has played there for at least 12 years.
He started as a freshman and was doing this stuff as a freshman.
Right.
Now he's a senior or leading rusher in the area.
All right, so you go Winston County as well?
I do.
You want me to go against you just to have some fun, or?
You go with your whatever you want to.
Well, this was the last game that I picked on the limb. I thought it's going to be extremely close, and that's why I felt like this would be a good one to do for our game of the week. I'm with you guys. I think Curry needs it. Like, they need a shot in the arm. They need something positive to happen. But I think Winston County just may have more horses, mainly because of Owens. He's an outstanding player, leads the area in rushing. He can score touchdowns from, anywhere on the field. If he breaks loose, he's gone. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think he'll score a couple long runs, 50 yards or more. And I do think it will be a low-scoring, 14-7 type game, or 21-10, somewhere in there, But I'm going with Winston County. I think they'll win it too. All three of us.
I'd like that score because it won't take me that long to write it up.
That's true. Yeah, it will. And I'm hoping that I just am able to stay awake on the way home from Demopolis to write the story up.
Get you some coffee before you leave.
I don't touch the stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got plenty of other vices. I don't need coffee.
Oh. I will say this about Winston County. Owens did credit the line.
Yeah, yeah.
He did credit.
And he really did not want to speak on camera, and I think it was because he didn't want to be singled out.
He is not anything about himself. Right. He really isn't. I asked him if he had any goals for the year, and he had no personal goals.
Right.
He just wants about the team.
Team to do what's best. And that's a lot can be said for that, and that's why he's the leader of the team for sure. Well, guys, anything else?
SEC this weekend. Thank goodness.
SEC starts back. That's always a good thing. I haven't even watched any college football until now.
Hasn't been worth it. Oh, also 4 teams are off this week.
Who's all off? Cordova?
Hold on, I got it here. Carbon Hill, Cordova, Oakman, and Meek.
Ooh, yeah. And so we'll bounce back next week with a whole lot more
Yeah.
games. And probably have a full slate, like 11 or 12 games like we usually do.
Yep.
All right, hey guys, until you see us on Friday nights at the games, this is PrepZone Game Time, and we'll see you then.